My name is Ben Fogan. I currently work for the National Cybercrime Unit as an intelligence officer. I've always wanted to work in law enforcement, and this has structured my career path and eventually enabled me to work for the National Cybercrime Unit. I decided to study criminology and criminal justice at university in order to gain knowledge of legal procedures and the law in order to understand how the criminal justice system worked. Despite getting a good degree, I knew I was competing with so many individuals that I had to do something that would show my determination and also my ability. So I called my local force intelligence unit and just offered to work unpaid work experience. I was lucky enough to get a 5-week unpaid work experience role as an intelligence officer, and with that experience along with a degree, I was in a position to apply for a law enforcement role. So I monitored the civil service website, and when a vacancy for the NCA came up, I applied and was successful. A typical day involves gathering and analysing intelligence from a wide range of sources. I meet with lead officers in order to keep the intelligence picture up to date and also to identify strategies on how I'm going to collect the information for the intelligence gaps that have been identified. Another aspect of a typical day involves assisting operational teams with tactical support. So operational teams that have deployed, for example, on search warrants, I'll provide live intelligence checks to ensure their intelligence picture is current. The best bit about the job is working on a criminal investigation from start to finish. I really feel that I help piece the puzzle together and assist in building the cases against the criminals that are causing the most harm to the UK. The worst bit about the job is the frustration of not being able to link an offender with an offence. In a cyber world context, this is when you can see an online identity committing criminality, but you can't link that back to a real world person. I'd advise people researching the industry to keep an eye on the media. I'd also advise them to look at their local force website, the National Crime Agency website and the Home Office website. This is in order to give them a structured overview from a local to national perspective on how the government's tackling cybercrime. I see my career developing in accordance with the threats from serious organised crime. The NCA is a young organisation, it's continuing to develop in accordance with those threats, but I intend to stay in the National Cybercrime Unit and law enforcement for a long time to come. I'd advise anyone thinking of joining the National Cybercrime Unit to undertake work experience or an internship within law enforcement. This will allow them to get a flavour of what it's like to work in law enforcement and also open their eyes to the different areas they can get involved in. I'd also advise anyone joining law enforcement of the restrictions that it places on your life. For example, you have to be flexible and sometimes work longer hours to meet the demands of the job. And also you're working with material that you can't go home and talk to your family and friends about. But those restrictions are balanced with the reward of helping build criminal cases against the serious criminals.